our next speaker, I want to give a big thanks to Srimati Navalatka Didi in Bolivia, because she is actually reaching out to devotees in Bolivia and South America to offer their Pushpanjali. So thank you, Navalatka, for arranging that. It's very sweet. And our next speaker is Hari Ras Prabhu from Bolivia, and he met the first devotees, Haribol. He met the devotees in 1986 and took Harinam in 2004, presumably by Skype, right? Because then you met Gurudeva the next year in 05, and you took Diksha in 05 as well. So, well, you look very happy. So obviously you're very happy in Krishna consciousness, which is great. And we're looking forward to hearing your Pushpanjali, Prabhu. Well, a very warm welcome to you in Bolivia. Haribol.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. I'm so happy, so honored to be here around my beautiful spiritual family and Srila Gurudev's family. So please let me offer little prayers. Namo Vishnupadaya. All glories to our beloved Srila Gurudev, all our Guru Parampara, and this beautiful family. Dandavat pranams to all of you. So I'm so happy and honored to be here with all of you. Yashodhari Didi, you're back with us for a few seconds. So there are so many things that I wanted to talk about Srila Gurudev, to glorify our dear beloved Srila Gurudev, but I was listening Jayanti Didi and Madhavi Didi, so my mind changed, and many things came to my mind. So I would like to share some things now that I would like to glorify Srila Gurudev in from this point of view, from us in Bolivia and many other countries where Srila Gurudev didn't go. No? So when all this atomic bomb happens, that is Gurudev traveling, when he started to travel, 1996. So this was, I don't know the exact word, as a revolution or a atomic bomb or tsunami happened. No? And it was so amazing because he started to go all the places where Srila Prabhupada was before. No? It was his original desire, as we know. But as he started to preach, magic happened. No, this magic is that many devotees got inspired, but not only, but getting in touch, physical contact touch with Gurudeva or listening directly from him, his Harikatha. But this Harikatha effect was moving to other places and touching hearts and broken hearts of people who wasn't there for Gurudev's Harikatha, for Gurudev's festival. For example, many places in the US where Gurudev didn't go, but devotees communities were there, were touched, or in Europe, many places, many cities, as happened in South America or Latin America. For example, the first visit Srila Gurudev made was to Mexico, Costa Rica. Later, he came to Venezuela, and then to Brazil. He came several times in the late 90s, no, and I'm not sure, 1999 or then he came back 2002, no? 2003 maybe. So this effect of his festivals was so amazing. Were so amazing because the festival happened for like a week. In those days, he went to a place for 5 days, more or less, and there were beautiful festivals. But the effect after this were amazing. And I was touched by this effect post Srila Gurudev visits. No? We had a beautiful community here in Bolivia as ISKCON devotees in the 80s, 90s. We had, especially here in Cochabamba, Bolivia, a big community of young devotees. And there was one ISKCON sannyas living here. He was so sweet. His name was Somaka Maharaj. So there was a beautiful community already of devotees, but as you know, things happened in ISKCON, many politics and everything. At the time, Gurudev came to Brazil, and some devotees from Bolivia went to Brazil to listen to assist to these festivals. No, when they came back, the miracle happens. Also, some other devotees from Bolivia were going to the US, and they had the opportunity to get in touch with disciples of Srila Gurudev. No? So this effect was that they were bringing Srila Gurudev's message, and they were bringing, they're very inspired on Srila Gurudev, and the translations to Spanish started in Costa Rica with Ramesh Prabhu. The devotees in Brazil were so inspired. Also, we had some connection with some friendship with them, so they started to bring us this Srila Gurudev's message, and little by little, in a course of like 5 years, all this Cochabamba, Bolivia community started to accept Srila Gurudev first as an inspiration, then little by little as a guide or a guru. In 2002, happens that the last festival in Brazil, in 2002, Srila Gurudev ordered to Sripad Maharaj to travel all places where he cannot go in Brazil, because as you know, Brazil is also Jai Param Gurudev. Brazil is also a huge country. So there are many cities inside Brazil and the countries next to Brazil, as Bolivia and others. No? So Gurudev ordered Sripad Maharaj and his, of course, his sannyasis and all his preachers to travel and to go to the places where he cannot go, and to arrange these festivals and initiations and everything on behalf of him. So in this way, I was initiated in 2004 in Harinam, and 2005 I took Diksha, and later I went to Rashmandal Parikram this 2005, this year. But my point is that special devotees as Isa Das Prabhu, as Puru Das Prabhu, they were doing such a great, fantastic job, because they were helping to arrive with Gurudev's message to many places where devotees were not connected, or we couldn't have the opportunity to be directly in touch with Srila Gurudev, no? Because many reasons, the distance, I don't know, in this South American or Latin American cases, because of our economies are so poor that we cannot afford a ticket to go to any festival. So these internet sevas were so important. I remember the BNN website in the beginning. You remember that, and also this Purudas Prabhuji's site, that was the Bhaktivedanta Memorial Library. For us, were like treasures. No? So the next step after hearing and receiving all these messages from Srila Gurudeva, all these wonderful messages, were to translate into our languages. No? That's a seva that I was committed from the beginning. So even if my English were a little poor that time, I made a big effort to try to translate these lectures of Srila Gurudev. So in 2004, we opened a website of Srila Gurudev lectures in Spanish, and also some other important articles of our Guru Parampara, many of which were appearing for the first time on the Race of the Harmonist magazines and everything. So in this way, people from any country of Latin America started to get inspired by Srila Gurudev. You can't imagine, no, people in Paraguay, Uruguay, Ecuador, Colombia, Guatemala. So places where, of course, Gurudev was not able to go, but he was arriving with his message, with his preachers, with his beautiful, I don't know the word, mission, no? With his mission. Well, so this came to my mind while I was listening to Madhavi Didi, no? The importance of these devotees who were helping Srila Gurudev's mission as making available all these lectures and videos and everything. I remember when Srila Gurudev was giving a new festival, we were waiting, what is the next lecture? No? What is he going to talk about? And it was like spiritual food, spiritual energy that we were waiting like crazy. What is Srila going to say next? But we were like from the distance waiting this wonderful Harikathas and books and everything. So next point I would like to talk was the Vyasa Puja 2010. As you know, for many years, like for 8 years, Gurudev didn't came back to Latin America. The last visit to Latin America was 2002 Brazil. No? But many years he didn't came back because of I don't know, maybe what was arrangement because of his health, or I'm not sure. But while Srila Gurudev was not coming, the community of devotees was growing up very, very fast and very beautiful. You know? And in the middle 2010, we got the news that Srila Gurudev was coming to Brazil for next Vyasa, 2009, sorry. 2009, we received the news that Gurudev was coming to Brazil for his Vyasa Puja 2010. When we received that news, that was the most amazing moment I can remember. That was like a very beautiful gift, because many devotees were going to be able to get in touch, physical touch with Srila Gurudev for the first time. All these years before, many devotees were initiated, as you mentioned, Yashodananda, by Skype or by phone call. I was initiated first by an email. Gurudev sent an email accepting me as disciple and everything, and later we made an international phone call. They were so expensive at that time, but that was the way. Years later, we tried the Skype and other ways. No? So, for example, in Cochabamba, we were for 2009 we were 70 disciples of Srila Gurudev. No, that was a huge group of Srila Gurudev disciples. So when the news about the Vyasa Puja 2010 arrived, we were so in ecstasy, because we finally had the opportunity to go to a festival to Srila Gurudev, to see Srila Gurudev, to be in physical touch with Srila Gurudev. Before of that, few devotees were able to pay a ticket for a Brajmandal Parikram. There were not more than 5 devotees that were able to go to India for Brajmandal Parikram, or maybe some European or some festival in the US. No, so the big group now finally was able to get in touch with Srila Gurudev. So we received this new, the biggest gift of Srila Gurudev ever. No, finally I remember this Vyasa Puja 2010 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The biggest international group who participated in this festival was the Bolivian group. So like we were 45 devotees who we traveled to Brazil by bus or some by airplane, but there was a huge group gang of devotees. And this festival, as Ramananda Prabhu remembers, as you can remember, Yashodananda Prabhu, was euphoric. I don't know the word. It was like crazy, no? Very, very. The energy was fabulous. No, I felt like I was in Navadvip. I don't know. The Srila Gurudev presence and devotees' emotions were so huge. So I was so happy that these devotees were my Cochabamba Sangha was able to get in touch with Srila Gurudev as I did in the past. No, and I was hoping everybody to has this experience of Srila Gurudev's presence. Even this opportunity we had, many devotees who never been in touch with Srila Gurudev disciples. I want all Gurudev Sangha to know this, that Srila Gurudev had many disciples who never been able to get in physical touch with him, who were initiated by Skype, by phone, by letters, etc. No? But these devotees are so special that they have a beautiful experience of what Srila Gurudev is, because from the beginning they started to have their relationship with Srila Gurudev based on separation. So this is very, very astonishing thing that Gurudev made for all this, for the world. And this was, in my opinion, was made only by Srila Prabhupada before, that he touched the world, entire world with his mission. So he did Srila Gurudev did. What else? At the time that Srila Gurudev started to preach, also in South America and Latin America, we were passing by a crisis, spiritual crisis about ISKCON politics and ISKCON things. So when Gurudev's message came, I remember perfectly how the first messages were Srila Gurudev talking on Upadeshamrita as he was revealing this new point of view of the Upadeshamrita in the Alatra Festival 1997. So all these messages was so new, so fresh, so inspiring. So we felt as we were saved by Srila Gurudev's mission, no? By Srila Gurudev's words and Harikatha. So Jayanti Didi was saying Gurudev as general. Maybe I feel like Gurudev as our fireman, our savior, healer. I don't know, because we were so brokenhearted at that time when Gurudev appeared in our lives. So he was saving us. What else? Yashodananda Prabhu, maybe this is everything that I have to say. As also Madhavi Didi was saying, the sevas are huge. So in the Spanish language, we have these books and we have these websites, articles of Srila Gurudev translated. Also, we have these videos that were subtitled, and Navita Didi is doing a fantastic job now making these videos. I don't know how to say in English. Navita is translating, but by voice. So I think this life is not enough to translate all Srila Gurudev legacy in Spanish, but we are trying little by little, drop by drop, to do a little seva to our Srila Gurudev. And this is our life to do this. I hope you all devotees can bless me that I can continue glorifying Srila Gurudev and continue to do little seva to translate Srila Gurudev's legacy into Spanish language and continue to be in touch with all the devotees and my Gurudev's family. Also, I would like to mention that many Gurudev's preachers came to Bolivia, so this is a gift of Srila Gurudev for us, as Madhava Maharaj came, Uma Didi came, Sripad Bong Maharaj is coming to Bolivia. Before the pandemic happens, he was coming for 18 years. Every year he's coming to Bolivia. Also, Sajan Maharaj is a big friend of Bolivia. Cochabamba Sangha also came. Abadut Maharaj and Shroti Maharaj, Prem Prayojan Prabhuji came. So Gurudev is sending all his preachers and jewels to all the places where he never went. So this is Gurudev's magic, how he involves and he embraced the whole world. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I think this is all I have to say. Maybe you want to comment something.
I was thinking how Bolivia must be a blessed place for Srila Gurudev, because it's got the word bol in it. How do you bol? How do you bol?
Yeah.
I don't think of another country that has Hare or bol in their name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you lived up to your name, Hari Ras. There was lots of sweetness in your Qatar, Prabhu. Thank you. And I remember I was there for the 2010 festival. It was really, I just remember it being like metaphorically, it felt like a big Madunga drum. It was strong, pulsating. It was very pulsating. And I remember I was in, are you friends with Gopinath?
That's Sundarananda's Prabhu's son.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got to become nice friends with Gopinath there. And I remember they have a swimming pool, and I think the electricity, everything went down, and I think the only way we could take bath was in the swimming pool. You know, it was like, it was pretty.
Yeah.
And I had this really nice photograph there, memory of Srila Gurudev, because I was in the swimming pool, just hanging out, and Gurudev was, I think he was reading on some chair behind it, and then someone took a photograph of me in the foreground with Gurudev in the background. It's kind of like I'm on holiday with my dad or something. It's really sweet.
You have to find this picture, bro.
No, it's on my Facebook. I've got it on my Facebook.
Oh, I will check. Yeah, yes, I remember you in Brazil. We were not friends, but I clearly remember you were next to Srila Gurudev's in Srila Gurudev's house, maybe, no?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
No.
So that was beautiful. And I remember all the devotees who were coming from Europe or from America were so amazed by the enthusiastic Latin American devotees, no? And these kirtans. We were euphoric. This is I remember the sensation that this was like a dream. It was everything so perfect, no?
Well, you guys don't really have a problem with personal expression, do you? I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
You know how to express. You know how to, like. You could really tune into the emotive and flavorsome side of Gurudev. You know.
Yeah.
And I think, and Bon Maharaj has done such an amazing savor in the whole of South America, cultivating so many devotees for so long.
Yes, thousands of devotees, especially in Brazil, but now he's preaching everywhere in South America. He's going to Chile, to Argentina. So it's amazing.
Maybe you can help us. Maybe you can help Navalatika to bring in more South American devotees to speak on this program. Would that be? Yeah,
absolutely. We can search, no, Navalatika.
Yeah, I know for a whole number of people, but we want more.
Because there are many. There are amazing treasures here in just in Cochabamba Sangha. There are amazing devotees. I'm feeling so honored to be here because there are other devotees who can tell you amazing stories about Srila Gurudev, how it changed their lives. And as I said before, I'm so amazed by the devotees who never get in touch with Srila Gurudev. Their realizations are amazing.
It is
crazy.
It is. Well, I mean, Lavanga, who we talked about in the last sharing, where Madhavi's father set up the archive, and Lavanga and Ambarish never had association with Srila Gurudev.
Absolutely. And there are thousands, Prabhuji, the devotees in China, in Russia, in Brazil, in Latin America, also in the United States. There are many devotees from small places, small cities, countryside, never get in touch with Srila Gurudev, but they received initiation somehow. It's amazing. This is
as Madhavi said in the last Pushpanjali, she said to her friends, if I told you Jesus was here, would you come and see him? And they all came. 60 of her friends came, and it's like that. So many people didn't meet Jesus, but they were inspired by Jesus, So Gurudev even more so. Amazing.
Also, I would like to say Ramananda Prabhuji came with Sripad Maharaj, I think 2006, no? Ramananda Prabhuji, 6 or 7 maybe. So he is a witness how things were happening in these long distant places, from the Bhakti radio. So he saw how
when he was a puppy. He must have been a puppy back then.
He's a puppy still. I see, like no year passed, no. So maybe he can tell you something. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Haridas. Did you want to say something about that, Ramananda? No, you're good. Okay, so are you saying something, or are you just making faces? You're on mute, by the way. Do I have to unmute you? What's he doing?
He cannot mute.
Oh, I have to. Yeah, okay. I'm asking you to unmute.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm unmuted now.
No, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
When I arrived in Bolivia, the first thing is my luggage got lost, and I was wearing Haridas Prabhu's clothes for a week.
Yes, I remember.
Then we were locked into the temple because there was a civil war going on outside, and there was like all these gas smells, and we had to stay inside the room.
Oh, literally a civil war, not like some kind of spiritual war, like a civil war.
There were actually 2 black men running down the street. one was calling the other one black, and they were both black. And Haridas Prabhu had to explain to me that there were two types of black. One of them actually thinks they're white. And it was crazy. But it was very beautiful being there. Also, I couldn't really function in Bolivia because of the altitude, and my blood pressure is used to Dutch under sea level pressure, so I could hardly function there. So I didn't do much in Haridas, but in Bolivia. But the devotees there were so loving, probably the most loving. I hope I don't offend anyone here. Of all the places I've ever been to, Bolivia.
It wouldn't be the first time, Ramananda, so don't worry. Yeah. I was asking if you started the Civil War, Ramananda.
Is that what Chaudhary was asking?